Greetings, everyone. This is Jeff Wilkerson, Professor of Physics at Luther College, bringing you the next in our series of what to look for in the night sky. We're talking about the week of July 24th, 2023 this time around. So this is a week of waxing moon, and it's going to be pretty full by the end of the week. So if you've got some deep sky objects, we got one to recommend here. If you've got some deep sky objects that you want to check out this week, I suggest getting in there early in the week before the moon has a chance to wash everything out. Early in the week, on the evening of the 24th, Monday, for us here in North America, the moon will slide by Spica. In fact, for me, it'll get pretty close. With a nice bright star in Virgo, at this point the moon's going to be just over 40% full. Very nice pairing, something you don't want to miss. Depending on where you are in the world, Spica will get closer or not as close to the moon. And so it'll make a good pairing for just about everybody. So check that out on the 24th. By late in the week, on the 28th, we've got the moon near the bright star Antares. We talked about Antares last week. We talked about Scorpius when we did this something to observe every night last week. Go back and check it out if you like. We've got bright orange star Antares in Scorpius. And for me, the moon will be, again, it depends where you are, what time of night you can observe. Right? For me, as it gets dark, so both of these things are available as soon as it gets dark. And as it gets dark, the moon will be there next to Antares, and it's going to, for me, it's going to be separating further and further and further from the moon, from Antares as the night goes on. If you live east of where I do, you'll have a closer pairing here. Remember, a fist at arm's length is about 10 degrees, so still a pretty nice close pairing of the moon. By this time, the moon's it's over 80% full. And so the moon really is filling out and starting to wash stuff out in the sky. Saturn is well up in the sky by about 11 o'clock my time. It'll vary a little bit depending on where you are in your time zone. So Saturn, we talked about last week, Saturn sitting above the bright southern star Fomalhaut, and still there, good to check out. It's getting earlier and earlier in the evening sky. By the time we get through August, Saturn will be well up shortly after dark. Jupiter, you have to wait a little bit longer. About 1 or 1:30 a.m. local time, you'll be able to start to see bright Jupiter climbing into the southeastern sky. So if you wait to check that out, it'll be worth it. So I recommend checking these things out. Now Jupiter, we said last week, we just talked about Saturn sits above Fomalhaut, and you can use Saturn to help find that bright southern star. Jupiter sits above 4 bright stars in the head of Cetus. Not bright stars. It's 4 medium stars in the head of Cetus that make up this sort of maybe a quadrilateral. So make up a quadrilateral, let's call it. Nothing's really, these sides are parallel probably. But anyway, so Jupiter is about 4.5 degrees, again about half a fist width above Mu Ceti. So this is all in Cetus, Cetus, the sea monster there. Mu Ceti, there's a lot of these 2 stars at the top of our quadrilateral are about 4th magnitude, between 4th and 5th magnitude, meaning you can see them with moderately dark skies, but they're not going to pop out. You might have to work at them just a little bit. So Mu is about 4.3 magnitude. Lambda down here is a little fainter at 4.7 magnitude. So that's going to be the hardest star for you to see in this region, and it's getting to be a little bit hard to dig out. It's just under 4 degrees away from Mu. Just under 5 degrees down from Lambda to Alpha, the brightest star, Minkar. The brightest star in Cetus here is at 2.5 magnitude. That's going to be the brightest star you see in this region. That's going to pop out for you. And then we move across, again, just under 5 degrees from Minkar over to Gamma Ceti right here. Now, Gamma is a binary star. And so Gamma, we didn't note that on the board here, but Gamma is a star. It's a pretty good binary star. If you've got a small telescope, by all means, check out Gamma. It's about just under 3 arc seconds is the separation of the 2 stars. And they look kind of yellowish and bluish, I think, to many observers who look at these things. The color difference really isn't that great if you look at the spectral types of the stars. But so it's a good double star. It's a good binary star, an actual binary star worth checking out here. Gamma in Cetus here at the bottommost star, the southernmost star of this quadrilateral that we're looking at. So you've got your small telescope to check that out. Well, you've got your telescope out checking that out. Drop down just a few degrees down to Delta, a 3.5 magnitude star. So brighter than the stars at the top of the quadrilateral, fainter than the stars at the bottom. And drop down this direction and see if you can find Delta here. The next star you come to as you sort of continue from Mu to Gamma to Delta down this direction. Right next to Delta, less than a degree away, off to the east, is M77, a fine spiral galaxy. So you have a chance to see a spiral galaxy. You might be able to see that with binoculars. You won't be able to split that double star with binoculars, but you might be able to see M77. And for me, this is getting far enough south, it's hard to see, looking through a lot of atmosphere to the south. So it's not the easiest object to pick out because of that, and I would certainly need a telescope, I think, to do this. If you live south of where I live, you've got a pretty good chance of maybe being able to see that with binoculars. But by all means, get your small telescope out and check this out. See if you can find this spiral galaxy. Do it early in the week. By late in the week, the moon's just too close and too full. It's going to be washing everything out in that region of the sky. If you don't get it this week, then by all means, check it out next week or the week after. Towards the end of the following week, the moon will be waning away, maybe sufficiently to be able to see that. But if you wait another few days after that, you'll be able to see it for sure. So M77 is a spiral galaxy like the Milky Way. Look, we live in the Milky Way, a wonderful spiral galaxy. This one's tipped up face on, making it bigger, but maybe less bright, but it's pretty bright. It's got nice knotted arms in there that you can see. This was one of the first two galaxies that we measured a big redshift in. So we started to know now galaxies are almost all, except for a few of the very closest galaxies, galaxies are almost all receding from us. They're all receding from each other because the space between the galaxies is expanding. And if the space between the galaxies is expanding, it's pushing every galaxy away from every other galaxy. Astronomers typically like to think about raisins in a raisin bread, for example. As the bread expands, all the raisins are moving away from all the other raisins. We won't go into the details of the problems with that model or the strengths of that, but it's just something to think about, how you can see everything moving away from everything else. So we started to recognize that early on, 100 years ago, we started to recognize that galaxies were in fact mostly moving away from us. And this is one of the very first galaxies, one of the first couple of galaxies that a very large redshift, meaning that we measure the speed with which a galaxy is receding from us by the redshift. We look at a line in the spectrum, and we see how much that line is shifted toward the red end of the spectrum, and that tells us the speed of recession of that galaxy. And so this tells us, we want to be careful with that language, thinking about speed. It's not speed like flying through space. It's the rate of expansion of space there. But in any event, it tells us how fast that a galaxy appears to be moving away from us. And so this is one of the very first ones. It's something to think about as you observe it here. So it's a great week this week, especially early on. But by the end of the week, we have a hard time seeing this. Great week to get out and observe the moon, making it close, pairing with a couple of bright stars. Check out Saturn again, and then check out Jupiter, and use Jupiter to find the stars here in the northern part of Cetus, and then drop down and see if you can find the M77 galaxy, appreciating a good double star along the way. That's what we got for you this week. I think it's going to be a good week. As always, thanks for watching, everybody, and we hope you have good, clear skies.